Thank you so much, Lindsey. Well, with back to school upon us and COVID restrictions dropping, you may be worrying about how your kids are feeling and dealing with your own anxiety as well. With more on navigating the transition back to a world with less masks and distancing, we are now joined by clinical psychologist Anna-Marie Tosco. Good to see you this morning.
Hi, Andrea. Thanks for having me.
All right, so before we try to help our kids with the confusion they may be experiencing, what do you recommend we do first?
Right. So first, it's good practice, no matter what the conditions are, to look inward first, to assess your own level of anxiety. Because right now, a normal level or an average level of anxiety for anyone is a little bit of confusion, is uncertainty, is apprehension about the upcoming year, and also even still remnants of social uneasiness. So all of that is in the realm of average or normal, but it's when it escalates into something more significant or clinical that we have to watch out for.
All right, so Anna-Maria, how do we know if our levels of anxiety, because it is a normal feeling, are cause for concern?
Yeah, great question. So important to know. Essentially, if we're having trouble sleeping, if we're having trouble eating, if we're having trouble moving our bodies, if we're having trouble getting to work or not feeling motivated, and this is lasting, I would say 2 weeks to a month, this is when you know you really need to take care of yourself first before, helping your children to be an optimal functioning parent or adult. So taking care of you first, and then you can go off and give advice to your children.
All right, so everything feels very back to normal. People are going to concerts and sporting events. Well, not everybody. So should you feel bad if you still don't want to go to the wedding or the concert?
Yeah. Great question. So many people want to know what's reasonable and what's unreasonable. I want to do the reasonable thing. But, it gives me so much pleasure to say, hey, wait a second. We've all been traumatized, almost like we've been through this collective trauma, if you will, and we are still healing. So those safety behaviors that we feel comfortable with, some people are wearing masks in the grocery store, some people are not. Some people are still double masking. Mm-hmm. Some people want to have a wedding of 200 people. Some people don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. One kid wants to mask up, one kid doesn't. All of it right now, we have to have patience, tolerance for, respecting the boundaries of other people and our own, because truth is we're all still healing, and it's going to still take time to reach a kind of level of normalcy or a new normal. We're still in it, Andrea.
And it's so important, respecting people's limits and their boundaries with the way they feel about it. Well, after 2 years of uncertainty and unpredictability, what should we be keeping an eye on with our kids?
Yes. So first thing, and this is good practice again under any circumstances, but with regard to COVID and the upcoming year, look for those physical symptoms, because adults as well, but even more so with children, symptoms of anxiety or issues going on psychologically or emotionally come out physically. So that sore tummy that's persisted, for a few weeks to a month could be an indication of anxiety. That's the first thing I want to say. Secondly, I want people to look out for repressed emotions. So again, good practice in general, but we need to show our kids that having negative emotions is okay. We can't be bottling them up. It's too common, I would say, even in North American culture, to say to your kids, hey, stop crying, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Don't reach for the solution first. Please allow space for that emotion, because theorists maintain that repressed emotion leads to, being mentally unwell or leads to psychological trouble. So allow for those emotions. And then, of course, finally, catastrophic thinking. That's something to look out for as well. So what that means is, being very worried about a negative outcome. Mommy, what if this? Mommy, what if you get sick? Mommy, what if my teacher gets sick? What if we can't go to school? Mm-hmm. So look out for those markers. And if so, while I don't want anybody to sugarcoat, that's when you can reach for safety. So the idea that help can be sought and found, my child, when things go wrong. So kind of like what Mr. Rogers says, look for the helpers when things go wrong. That's really good advice.
Such great advice, such great tips. Thank you so much. Once again, Anna-Marie Tosco. Thanks, Anna-Marie.
Thanks, Andrea.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.